everyone. I just made some delicious, baked, healthy, sweet potato French fries. And they're perfect. Now they're a little dark, but that's how they usually come out. And they have a lot of flavor. So let's get started and I'll show you how I did these. Okay, after you wash your sweet potatoes, you want to peel them. And I'm using 2 yams and 1 sweet potato. They will come out the same. And after we peel them, you want to cut them in slices that are very much the same as all of them so that they will cook evenly. Okay, when you cut them, you want them to be about the same thickness so that they cook together evenly. And part of it isn't overcooked and one's undercooked. You want them to cook at the same rate of time. So I'm making them into sticks like French fries, but you could make them in circular discs like if you want as well. Okay, I've decided to use just 1 sweet potato, and I'm going to put 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I put a little too much. And the seasonings that I have here are salt, pepper, paprika, and garlic powder. And I put very little salt in it. We don't want a lot of salt. So depending on how many sweet potatoes you're using, you would use seasoning to taste, however much you want. And then the olive oil also is dependent on how many. I put about 2 tablespoons of olive oil in here, which will work. And now I'm going to place them on a baking sheet with parchment paper underneath. I've learned I don't like to have dishes that are really hard or pans to clean, so I like to use parchment paper. So I'm just going to layer these individually. My oven is preheated to 450 degrees, and these will take about 20 minutes to bake. Okay, you want to make sure they're flat. We're going to put them in our preheated 450 degree really hot oven, and we're going to set the timer for 10 minutes. And then we're going to flip them over on the other side and bake them another 10. And you'll know then if we need to go a few minutes more. Okay, we're going to take them out now. They've been cooking 11 minutes, and we're going to flip them over. So you want to individually, and they are dark, and that's normal. You don't want them to burn, but that's just kind of toasty. They're not burned, but if you leave them in too long, they could burn. So they've cooked 11 minutes on the first side, and now I'm going to turn them over and go with 8 minutes or 7. Well, we don't need to cook them as long on the second side. Okay, so I took the parchment paper off, and you can see how clean the pan is. And then the way you tell if they're done is you just take a fork and you poke them. And they are done. They are dark. Some of them might be a little burned on the edges. And maybe I should have turned it down a little to 400 to start. But they look delicious.